yesterday, so John and I, and sometimes Heather, and sometimes Dr. V, and sometimes other people through the chat, and we'll be bringing in more people in the future. John and I have done now approximately 60 of these videos.
We have.
Can you believe it, right? Crazy.
It is crazy.
So all this time, I kind of knew that John did something with video. And believe it or not, I don't know exactly what John does. Now, some clients, or rather, some people or companies or that we've highlighted here over the past several videos, they'll like seek John out. I can't believe I just used like in a sentence. They like seek John out. They will seek John out. Yeah, I'm a 14-year-old girl from the 80s.
It's all right. It's cool.
They seek John out and they know what they're buying, but I wasn't sure what John does. And so I wanted to give John a few minutes in this video to actually discuss what he does and why people buy from him. And it's going to be instructive no matter, what your business is, because
Definitely going to be instructive.
he has a business that touches many industries.
Yes.
But like what they get out of it and sort of like what the special sauce or reason is. And so, John, on behalf of myself and the audience, what the F do you do exactly?
I'm so glad you asked, because I don't know if you remember our first conversation, but in our very first conversation, Dean, you said, "Oh my gosh, you're like the technical guy who feels the technical background of everything that I do." And that really kind of is true, but it's really so much more. So over the years, I've been worked predominantly as a marketing consultant, but producing strategy for live video. So started out with live video, and then now really moved to short video. So really talking to clients about the strategy behind how live streaming video, short videos all fit into their business.
Okay, can you narrow it down? That's so wide.
That is so wide. So varies a lot. So in other words, a lot of it depends on the business structure.
You're breaking all the rules for all the stuff about positioning and the horse lady and everything else we've talked about in 60 videos.
I am.
But it's working for you, so.
Well, it's kind of.
What would your wife tell her mom that you do?
My wife would tell her mom that I work online and that I work with people with taking short videos to get more attraction to what they do online. I think in a simple version, that's what she would say. I help them get more traction and more attraction.
Would the mother of your wife understand what she had just been told?
I think she would.
I'm starting to forgive myself for not fully understanding what you do.
I think she would understand that. So sometimes it's kind of difficult to explain because it depends on. I've done different things for different clients, so it varies a bit, but it all surrounds video. So we've done video commercials. We've helped people host their live virtual events. We've made video commercials. So we've done kind of a wide array of work around video. But the good news of what I do on top of that is that I've been around in this business a long time, so I know a lot about a lot of different things. So it's not like you're totally just hiring a video specialist, but you're hiring somebody who's been around a long time and really understands ads with video and a whole host of different things that video fits into.
Okay. This is becoming an exercise. It's okay. I'm learning. All right. Who hires you?
Who hires me?
Yes.
Okay.
Mostly businesses, I imagine. Well, it's not a B2C kind of sale.
No, it's not. No, it's mostly businesses. It's mostly small businesses at this point. We'd like to be doing some work with larger companies because we've noticed like over the years the YouTube channels of larger companies are kind of like what you see with webinars. They're not very lively. They're kind of boring, and there's a lot that people could do there. And the same is true with their live video. It's non-existent. I don't see a lot of businesses doing much work with TikTok, Instagram, doing a lot of short video work or live streaming. So it it varies quite a bit in the different stuff that we do, but again, all surrounds video, and
Right.
it's all related to video.
Is the video that ends up being produced, is
Mhm.
it a showpiece normally in its own right, or is it like part of a content marketing campaign?
Most of it's part of a content marketing campaign, but some of it is a showpiece in its own right. Like we've done some commercials. We did a commercial for our friends at 6 Minute Webinar,
Sure.
and that was a showpiece like in its own right. And a lot of that came from the fact that I really understood webinars real well.
Like, where
That
would I see this?
Where would you see this? I don't have it up right now.
Oh, so the video you made for them is not available anywhere?
The video, I have it, but it would take me a minute to dig it out.
No, that's okay. If there was something that was already on like someone's website or blog or
Yeah.
something, I could go to it and show.
They used it for a they were doing a huge summit online, and they really wanted some way to showcase the 6 minute webinar and how valuable it could be for your business. And so they had us do that for them, and it just kind of highlighted how a lot of webinars are too long, and you can really get your message across in a very short period of time. So what kind of got me to this direction is we're probably doing the most work with live streaming video. And then what came to me all of a sudden, Dr. V and I had been talking about TikTok and the fact that, gosh, the interface is great. There's more people on it than Google. Um, it would be a superb place to showcase your business, depending on how quickly you could produce a video for it.
Right.
So when we did this video for the 6 minute webinar, we were thinking, gosh, it's probably going to be like a minute long, maybe a minute and a half for them to really get the full benefit out of it. We got that video down to 30 seconds, nearly got it down to 15 seconds. But what we started to lose was like some of the video cuts, and it just wasn't as engaging when we got it down to 15 seconds.
Right.
So I'm like, gosh, if we could get the average video down to 15 seconds and still get, the point across about what we're trying to portray to our clients, that would be pretty amazing. Because video is based on a couple of different things. It's based on consistency. So in other words, YouTube and all of the places that we produce video are looking for us to make video daily, or at least every couple of days, at least on a regular basis. And then the
So when you
second,
mean consistency, that's really another flavor of frequency.
it's really another
Okay.
frequency. Just like everything, you're rewarded for your consistency, keeping things moving. And then the fact that we could really get a good message out in 15 seconds was pretty amazing to us. So it got us into the whole realm of Instagram short videos, YouTube shorts, Facebook shorts, and TikTok.
Hmm.
Where initially I kind of thought TikTok, big waste of time. Why would I want to be involved there? That's for like young kids shuffle dancing and doing those kinds of things, and I don't do any of that stuff. I'm an old guy who doesn't shuffle dance. So,
There you go.
but needless to say, it was quite the opposite. We've got a lot of views on our videos. Um, People like all kinds of things, wide variety of stuff. And one of the big
So
things, yeah, go
when
ahead.
sorry,
What are you gonna say?
I'm just trying to like flesh out the picture for myself.
Yeah.
So a small business prospect slash client shows up,
Mhm.
right? Sort of like quote unquote shows up. What do they have that they have to give you so you can proceed to help them make the video that they're trying to get made?
Well, that's a really good question, and that takes a couple
All my
parts.
questions are really good
I
questions.
I know that's why you're a good interviewer. So it takes a couple of things for us to kind of figure that out. Usually, most of the businesses that we're talking to are lacking a video strategy. So they know they need to do more video, but they have
Mhm.
no idea what they're doing, why they're doing it, and they're afraid of the technology that they think they're going to need to put it together. And we try to both make that simple for them and put the strategy together that makes the most sense for them to keep consistent and do it
So
on a
not
regular.
for you to produce the video, but to enable them to produce the videos.
It's a bit of both. So sometimes we do produce some of the video, but in the end, we love it if they were able to produce the video
Sure.
because it's going to help their frequency and consistency.
Right. Yeah.
Where a lot of other companies, like I have a friend that goes and he regularly travels around the country and puts together the equipment and actually does the shooting. We don't do that. We, for the most part, do more of the consulting and strategy and help the client put together the video that they need to get the traction that they want. Make sense?
Yeah. So it's it's largely a consulting slash knowledge transfer kind of business
Correct.
model.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. But you don't have any online courses.
We got some new ones coming out. So we do
Okay.
have online
What
courses that we
courses are
can.
coming out then?
We got a course coming out on short videos and how to produce short videos well and fast. And we've got a group coaching that goes along with that, so that we find really, if you're producing video, it's one of those things that you really need a lot of feedback on. And so we wanted to put
Right.
together that group coaching, that accountability program to help people to produce more video on a regular basis, not get stuck, be able to have some input on what they are producing, whether it's good or not, or what they should change, or what needs more strategy behind it.
Okay.
So that's the big thing that we're working on now. We're doing a larger course for people who are video enthusiasts, RV enthusiasts, because RVing is a big hobby of mine.
Right.
There's a lot of work going on in the video area in RVing, and also, there's some other areas that we work in that we know that we could make an impact for those people there. So that's another area that we're doing some stuff in. More and more as time goes on, I really wanted to develop and start working more with some of the passion projects that I have. And one thing is we love to travel. So it seems like an obvious move. And one of the challenges that people have these days with traveling is cost of gas.
Oh, is gas expensive now?
Yeah, you haven't noticed.
Actually, I noticed it goes down by a few cents every day for the last
It
week.
has gone down a little bit over the last couple of
Right?
weeks.
It's like that saying, gas prices go up like a rocket and fall like a feather.
Exactly. But even
Yeah,
still, I know last year I was filling my tank for like around $150.
right.
This year it's more like 350 bucks. I'll fill up to be able to travel around and enjoy my hobby. So,
It's before I get back.
yeah,
I just wanted. I had someone. I went through and watched this long video about like global oil pricing and how it's done,
yeah,
and it's so like tight and so like active. Even a 5% drop in, or basically for every 5% drop in supply, in oil supply, results in a 100% increase. Like if it drops by 5%, it doubles the price. That's
crazy, isn't it?
that is a fully utilized market. That is a market where there's no slack or overproduction. Oh
No,
well. Anyway, okay.
really.
So I'm trying to figure out how to like sum this up.
Well, that's all right. I think you hit it right in the early years when you and I first met, and you said to me, I never knew that there was somebody that handled the technical side of what I do for clients.
Yeah, but
And
I don't think you should say you handle the technical side.
no,
Because no, because that's not really what you just described.
not totally, but I do
And
teach a lot
B,
about the
that is
technical.
a synchronous business, and you're in basically an asynchronous business model. Like Like in my in the webinar business that I have, right? Where I
Mhm.
do we handle all 50 out of the 51 steps in producing a corporate B2B webinar.
Right, right, right.
That work all splits into two types. There's the asynchronous work, like writing the outbound email campaigns and writing creating the funnel and the registration landing pages and all that kinds of. That's asynchronous. Like we can do that in our pajamas on a Sunday morning drinking coffee. And
Yeah,
then there's the helping the speakers rehearse, doing the technical checks, operating the webinar software, so they don't
mhm,
even have to deal with that. The
right,
stuff where let's say I'm the person who happens to be doing that task. If I'm doing that, I cannot be doing anything else,
correct.
right? Not even for a second. Whereas with the asynchronous stuff, I can be writing the outbound email campaign and then like take a break and go somewhere or just
Right.
put it aside and come back. Like it's all asynchronous and no one cares because they don't
No,
care how long it took me or when I did it or whether I was wearing pajamas or pants. They cared that like the result gets them the open rate that they wanted and the click through rate they wanted and all that kind of stuff. I don't think you should describe it as doing the technical side because that's a synchronous business and you are not moving down that road.
no, no.
No,
That's
I think
that's true.
you show and then assist businesses to produce lots of short form video content.
That's true. Or longer form video content, as far as that matters.
I
But
would even stick with short form.
yeah, all
In
right.
fact, if you wanted to, you could put a little of a halo on that, right? So you could even say, we show or we teach and then assist businesses to produce lots of short form video, which is harder than long form video.
It is a lot harder,
It
or
is
can
harder.
be a
Like,
lot harder for sure.
it's
Yeah,
the
especially
classic
getting started
sort of
with it.
quote from I think it's either Twain or Bernard Shaw. I forget which writer is usually attributed to it. It's where he writes like his friend a letter, and he says, "I'm sorry this letter is so long. I didn't have time to write you a short one."
Yeah,
Right, and that's basically it. Takes I mean these videos are much easier to produce than the 3, 5, and even 20-minute ones. These are usually about 30 minutes. They're harder to produce. They're easier, far easier to produce than the shorter ones that I produce for, for whatever
yeah.
marketing
20,
purpose.
30 seconds.
Right? I
You
don't have to
know,
write scripts for them. There's no practice. It's like,
right.
whatever. And the shorter I try to make something, the more work has to go into it because everything still has to be communicated, but much more succinctly.
Very succinctly.
Yeah.
So all of the things though that we talk about with video still apply. So
Yeah.
one of the biggest challenges that people have with getting on video is having the face on camera.
Right.
They don't have the camera confidence to create good video,
Yeah.
do a good job with it. That's number one. The second thing is they're always afraid of, oh my gosh, what am I going to say
Right.
when I do figure out how all of this other stuff works, and I am used to getting my face out, then what am I going to talk about? And there's really plenty of things. You never really can run out of things to talk about. And then the third thing that stands in their way is the technology. So there's so many different pieces of technology.
Right.
We're dealing with Restream today, which for the average person when they're first getting started can be really complicated. There's StreamYard, there's Hopin, there's a million different technologies for video.
Yeah. It's not an accident that so many people do their
No,
webinars, do their everything. I saw some company last week. They do all of their podcast recordings with Zoom,
yeah,
which is not a tool that's suited for any of those things I just told you, really. Even the webinar stuff, I don't really like for Zoom.
not
But
really.
people have it and they know it, and that's as far as they're going to get in learning a technology or product.
Yep.
And so they just figure out a way to like reuse Zoom for all of these different things.
Hmm.
Podcasting created with Zoom. Who does that?
Well, it's
But that's
fun.
what they do. I
Lots
mean,
of people.
it's a video podcast thing. That's the thing, right? Zoom doesn't even let you go above like 720, like the very minimum that you can still call something like HD. Otherwise,
Yeah,
it's that blurry SD. But that's how it's done, I guess. People like that actually came to me because when you were saying that, because of
yeah,
something else that I wanted to ask you, which is
yeah,
as far as camera shyness.
yeah.
I imagine that's far less of an issue now than it would have been even 2 years ago, since you'd be hard pressed to find any business owner who hasn't done a whole bunch of on-camera Zoom meetings by now.
You'd be surprised.
People are
Um,
still like iffy about it, huh?
well, there's not a lot of people who are actually talking at the meetings in a lot of cases. Some of them are
But they're on
rather,
camera.
but they're on camera. So they're used to being on camera, but
Sure,
they're
yeah.
not necessarily used to speaking.
Right.
And so they're trying to overscript things. They're trying to read from a teleprompter. It looks correct, uh, it just doesn't look right.
No.
No. And so a lot of what we do too is, the strategy around video, which is every company has a different strategy, and how to create the right videos to fit that strategy is, you know, super important.
Yeah, someday we need to take half an hour, you and I, in a Zoom call, and I will figure out how to write your tagline for you so that you can sum it up in just a few words what you do.
That's good. It's simplified over the years. When I originally started, I just really enjoyed working with live video, and that was when Google Hangouts first came out.
Yeah.
And I was doing a lot of work with other people's webinars. I was working with guys like Andy Jenkins and Mike Filsaime,
Webinar Jam. Yeah.
the webinar jam days, and we were doing a lot of just our own webinars on Hangouts.
Right.
So it was a fun time, and it really got me interested in what you could get done, what you could accomplish, and the people that you could attract. So that's still true. It's just as good today as it was way back then. It's
Okay.
just the rules have changed.
So let me see if I got this now. If you're a small business and you realize that producing a lot of short form video would help you grow your business, but you don't know how to get started and you've got some hangups about getting started,
Mm-hmm.
that's the kind of person who should reach out to you. Is that what you're saying?
That is the kind of person that should reach out with me
Okay.
or to me. And especially, like I said, most lack a strategy. And we see that with a lot of the different things that we do. There's
Right.
no marketing strategy surrounding what they're trying to do with video.
All right. And because I'm just sort of now, I know I'm late to the game in it, but you know what I mean by productizing a service, right?
Absolutely.
For anyone who's watching and doesn't understand what productizing a service is, and still I haven't done it really. I'm sort of getting to it though. Is you take something that you would a service that you would normally perform for someone like, as your own business to them. Let's say like rewriting someone's webpage or creating
Yeah.
a new logo for them or whatever, and you put a set price on it and sell it. The part of the idea is with a set price, you can sell it without interaction, right? Which
Mhm.
is to say, you could sell it on a website, and someone
Yes.
could pay with a credit card without you having to like sell it to an individual over and over and over and over and over again,
Directly, one on
right?
one.
And so
Right.
there are considerations about like how to do that because on the one hand, you do not want to get stuck with a
Yes.
project where if you're charging right $1,200 to rewrite a few pages on a website, then you do not want someone to buy that online with no qualification that
Correct.
they're a good fit for you as a client, and the next thing you know they've got like they expect 50 pages to be created when you really thought you'd only be selling 5,
Well, or they're just going to be completely unhappy with
or you're just on different pages right
production.
altogether. Yeah, you're on different pages of the same book, but it's like, no, this is not what I wanted. So, well, this is what I sell. It's, yeah, but that's not what I wanted. But the payment's already been made, so you're in kind of
Right.
a lot of times a website review is
Yes.
really big for this around copywriters, right? Like, for 90 minutes or 45 minutes, I'll walk you through your website and talk about the things you're doing wrong. And, you can then go to anybody and, whatever. And so you can sell that kind of stuff. So you're productizing the service. So you haven't yet productized your services, but I think you're further ahead than I am.
I am. And one thing that's funny you bringing that up is we also have helped other people productize their service over the years.
Right.
So for instance, most of today's things that get productized are workshops and video related, etc. But most companies or business owners don't know what membership site to use, how to put that together, how to get what email sequences they need to sell the course, what cart, that kind of work. So that fits in a little bit with some of the video work that we do as well. So they might be wanting to create a course,
Right.
just don't know how to do it, don't know the strategy behind it, and we help with that too.
I like that you do multiple things. I don't like that you describe that you do multiple things.
I know.
Right? You're breaking
That
the
I gotta
rule of
get that.
one, right? Have one
I know.
thing, one message, whatever. Choose your
I
halo and
know.
you should go.
I haven't
Right?
quite, you know what, and I probably
Yeah.
don't handle that message very well because we do a variety of different things. We've just been around a long time, so we
Yeah.
understand the market. But at the same time, you're right. Trying to focus in on the one thing that kind of encompasses everything can be a little bit difficult,
Yeah. It is
especially.
for everybody.
Yeah, it is for everybody, but especially if you do, more than one thing,
Yeah.
it makes it a little hard. But anyways, we have done some work in that area. We've helped a lot with video advertising. So lots of different pieces and parts. YouTube
Okay.
audits.
Wait, say that again? Something YouTube?
YouTube YouTube audits are another area that
What's a YouTube audit?
well, if you look at the average YouTube channel, it's kind of blank with some videos on it.
Yeah.
Most people don't get the graphics right. They don't
Right.
fill out their about pages. They aren't sure how to link everything together and make it look right. So we'll go through a YouTube channel and just kind of do a quick rundown and say, okay, you get this. This looks okay. You need more work in these other areas. So that's one of the things that we're looking at productizing quickly because it's something we find most people need. Most of the YouTube channels look at, we should look at someday.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
you'd be
we've never done that. Look at
no,
people's
well,
YouTube.
we kind of done that a couple times, but
Yeah.
and I've often showed you that you see this one doesn't have a header, this one
Yeah.
doesn't have the face shot of the owner. Um, they're all missing something, or they're not
Right.
organized well, or
That
they're
could make a very good show. Yeah. We should do a
yeah,
YouTube audit.
yep. So that might be something we could do sometime.
We can open the kimono and do like my channel, where
Ooh,
the one where these videos go, because we haven't really dug, we haven't dug into that at all.
no,
We're using YouTube basically as just a repository for these videos,
right?
because finding a video on Facebook or God forbid LinkedIn is basically impossible after the fact.
It's completely impossible.
Yeah.
So that's why you really got to have it on YouTube
It
because
has to be on
it's
YouTube. It's
searchable.
the Yeah.
It's searchable, and TikTok is searchable, and Instagram is searchable to a certain
Yeah.
extent. So, but YouTube is the most widely searched
Yeah.
of all
Especially for longer form video, for
video
sure.
repositories.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then the real trick is how do I get from short form video to get people to watch my longer videos?
Yeah.
Because that's a bit of a trick as well.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
First, make a bunch of short form video.
Yep.
Yeah. All
Easiest
right.
way.
I have a better idea now. I didn't know. Other people seem to know. I didn't know.
That's okay.
I
Hopefully,
will
what I
help
said
you at
made
some
sense.
point redo that
I would.
beyond what we talked about today so that you can sort of pitch it easier, because it's a bit ponderous.
Yeah.
You
Well,
do so much that it's ponderous to sort of keep it all in your head as a prospect of like what I would get from John or why I would need John.
Well, it's funny. One of the things that has made it become ponderous, actually, is because I went through a very long illness, and
Mm-hmm.
when you come back out of that kind of a thing, you you're kind of getting new inspiration from the things you begin to work on.
Yeah.
So what happened is, as I got more active, with action comes clarity, and with more action came more and more clarity until I am where I am now. So a lot of things changed from where I originally was to where I am now.
I imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But
All right. That's our show. We've hit our 30 minutes, I think, or we're coming up on it.
we're right on it. So,
Any last words? Any parting gifts? Pearls of wisdom? Make more video would be a good one.
well, yeah, I
Video
think
works.
it works. I think my best parting gift is this year, over 85% of all content is going to be video.
Crazy, huh?
And it is crazy. And so if you're not making video, if you're not doing enough video and you need
Right.
help, hey, feel free to reach out. I'd love to chat with you about it more and some of the things you might be able to do to increase your bottom line, get more leads, and more clients and customers and people who know, like, and love you.
That'll work. All right. That's let's see. Today's Thursday, so there won't be another one till Tuesday. So it'll be a few days. So thanks everybody. It's always great to be here.